Story time. So this is gonna be quite long. So I came across Stranger Things um, character review, something like that. So I kept scrolling and scrolling, and I came across a red carpet interview with one of the characters, Natalia Dyer. She played Nancy Wheeler in Stranger Things. So yes, to me that's a searching, right? But I went through comment section because comment section has the whole tea, and I went to the comment section and I was reading people's comments. And I was reading people's comments, and people were talking about a whole lot of scrutiny. People were talking about how skinny she is, how her hair color is so bad, just a whole lot of things. And a particular one stood out for me. Just a lady that was concerned, and she mentioned maybe she has anorexia, you know. And this juggled me back memory lane. So I remember when I was in secondary school, I was like 14. So I wasn't staying with my parents. I was staying with my family member, and I wasn't looking so good. Like I wasn't looking good, right? And I wasn't looking so good. I was so skinny, so skinny. And being a child, I was actually quite timid. I lived a lot in my head, and sometimes a lot of things will happen to me, and I'll be like, you know what? There's no point in voicing out. No one is ever gonna understand me anyway, and stuff like that. I was so lean and so skinny. It got to a time I stopped myself from eating because I was feeling like I was overweight and I wasn't overweight. That was just the truth. I literally cautioned myself from eating um, food well enough because to my head I thought the more I look skinny, the more I look beautiful. Do you understand? Growing up is now is growing up is when I realized that I was actually sick, right? Because I wasn't looking good. But I thought I was looking good to the extent of stopping myself from eating well. Because there was food, right? I'll literally take food to school and I'll pour it away. That was the height of it. So I remembered a senior student. I think if his name was his name was Stanley. And I was sitting upstairs and I was sitting alone. And then I was passing by, I just stopped and I agreed was like, Sandra, are you okay? I say, yes, I'm fine. I'm like, you don't look good. Like, you don't look good. I said, I'm okay. So are you sure? Are you hungry? Do you need food? I said, I'm fine. you know. And now I realized why I was overly concerned because honestly, I wasn't looking good. Right? And I was like, oh, okay, okay. I looked pale. I looked so pale. Like I looked like I was gonna faint any minute. In fact, I got to a point that one of my teacher called me and said, after the assembly, we had an assembly in the morning, and she called me as we were marching to the classroom. And she called me and she was like, see me during lunch break. I went to the teacher's room and she was like, I should bend down. I bent down. She's like, am I feeling dizzy? I say no. I say, eh. That she thought I'm pregnant and stuff. I was like, pregnant. And because I wasn't looking good. I felt like someone who was suffering from what do they call it? Pre early pregnancy stages symptoms, so sickness. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this because for mothers, for please, number one, always ask your child questions. Don't ignore them because they're quiet and they have other things, they have issues going on. Some don't have, my dear, but some do. Some we suffer a lot of depression. In fact, I realized that I had a lot of mental depression because first, where I stayed was I won't say it's good. It's not good because there are some things that happen that is not something I can start saying here. That there were some activities that wasn't that a child at that age growing, that teenage age should live in, should experience it. It wasn't a growing environment. So because of that, it's affected me a lot. I had mental depression, but it wasn't a sentence I was accustomed to. It wasn't something I I wanted to give myself because we are Africans, we are Nigerians. You can't have depression. Having depression means you have spiritual problem. It means there's a demon, a legion following you. And a lot of people have mental depression in Nigeria, especially in this country, and we just ignore and be like, she'll be fine. And there's a lot of cycles running around Twitter and stuff like that. So please, if you have children, quiet, loud, take note. Don't leave your children to family members. I had my parents are good parents. They are good people. They try their best, right? And I think growing up now, I realized that there were actually some things I experienced that shaped me into not trusting people enough. Do you understand? And this actually has linkage with mental issues, mental mental health. There's some things I experienced that was like I remember when I was 2005, I was 6 or 7 years old back then, and I was taking care of my cousins. I stayed with my uncle, and I was taking care of my cousins. I took them to school back and forth. His wife was not nice. And if you are hearing this, if you are hearing this, the woman wasn't nice. She gave me this mark on my head. She hit my head with cup, a big cup, and it was bleeding. My forehead was bleeding. And then she told me that the next day, I should use scarf and cover my head to reach this place, so the husband shouldn't see it. At that age, I also encountered bullies in my primary school. Bullies, two sisters, they were constantly bullying me to the extent that they lied to my aunt, telling her what I don't know. I came back from school because their house is like close to our house. So I came back from school and I saw my aunt standing in the middle of the compound. Next thing she said, Angela, come here. I came and next thing she slapped me. I saw literal stars that day. I saw stars. Brum, brum, brum. She slapped me so much. My teeth fell out. Do you understand? So all of those things actually, I didn't know it shaped me somehow, right? It shaped me into someone I didn't want to become. I didn't know I became. Do you understand? So the reason why I'm saying this is we scrutinize people a lot. Like we judge people a lot without even knowing half of what is going on in their life. Especially this era that everybody has, phones and there are a lot of social media platforms and stuff. We can just air our things and anyhow anything that any vulgar thoughts that comes to your head, you just pour it out to someone, not knowing what they are going through, not knowing what they are healing from. It's hard. It's hard and it's not fair. It's not fair. Let's encourage ourselves. Let's learn to encourage ourselves. Let's learn to ask questions instead of judging. Don't be thoughting for people. Don't say, oh, I thought. Don't thought for people. Be concerned. We're all humans. I think it's high time we become more human towards each other. Become more humans towards each other. Oh, she's sassy. Oh, he's proud. Oh, he's this. You don't even know what is going on. You don't even have an idea of what is going on. You don't know what they're healing from. You don't know if they're deliberately taking a break from the world. And you're just like this. Not knowing that they're suffering from sickness like anorexia, mental stress, psychological issues, family issues, societal issues, pressures, you know, things like this. And it happens from small, from environmental backgrounds, family background. I'm just saying rubbish. Family background, environment, culture. Let's learn to accept ourselves the way we are. There are a lot of psychopaths around because of how they were groomed. And we think, please let's learn to seek therapy. Let's learn to acknowledge the fact that this is me. I have these issues. To I need to fix myself. Okay? Me coming out to say this, the confidence I have right now is because of a whole lot of training and consultation. So please, let's learn to love each other more. And anyways, it's well. That's my little story. I hope you learn one or two from it.